Trying to we'll do quick questions.
Yeah, better now.
Yeah. So how did you like the book?
It was fabulous. It was a fabulous read, and when she was writing it, she wanted to talk about. She'd had this idea during the pandemic that I talk about my memories and and she'd kept such intricate, detailed journals. And it was sudden. One day she just decided to start writing, and she would send me samples while she wrote, and I said it is flowing beautifully and it reads so lucidly. It's this very limpid kind of prose which flows and which makes you want to read more. So I think it's a fabulous read, and I learned so much more, though I had heard these stories, in disjointed anecdotes from their lives all through my years with the family, and I've known them now for long because our fathers were friends from dormitory from age 7.
Wow.
Yes. So I had known a lot of it and I had seen it happen live, but to see it in a book and when it's all put together so cohesively, it's a lovely read. And I thoroughly enjoyed reading the rushes, as they call it, the first drafts, the galleys. Yeah.
Interesting. Are you at all interested in literature the way you talk about it?
Yeah, I am. I work for the world's largest literature festival, the Jaipur Literature Festival. So
sorry, I knew that.
Yeah, no, I am very interested in literature. I am a compulsive reader. I cannot live without a book, and I've studied literature in college and in my masters. So yeah, it's a passion,
Yeah,
which
very palpable, just the way you talk about the book.
Yeah.
So I was asking your brother-in-law about it. Did the book kind of throw up any newfound insights about your mother-in-law? Because we know people personally, we feel we know them.
Yeah.
And then we read a book written by them, about them, entirely about them, and we see their life through their perspective. Is there something new that you've learned?
Not really. I always admired her for her ability to step back as a historian, as an academic, and see places through the lens of history, and that I admired. And of course the personal part of it I knew, so there was nothing new, but I think, as always, because this is not her first book, she's written so many, so she manages to put it together when it kind of, it speaks to the soul of the reader, and that's what makes it so accessible. And that's what I found. There was nothing new that came through, but yes, I was amazed at her memories, and that I've always found. She's very studious in her her accounting journals and all her sort of keeping tab on what she has done. And if you look at her albums that Vishnu just mentioned, she has these she has meticulously maintained newspaper cuttings, photographs of their lives, of their births, of their postings. So when it all comes together in one book, I found that that is amazing. But no, I always knew this was, she could tell a story, she could tell this story, and her stories are amazing. I have often stayed up late nights when we've traveled together to listen to her. There are amazing stories. Some of them are ghost stories, some of them are sightseeing stories, some of them are of stories in which she's been robbed and she's managed to get out of it. Some stories of fights and arms where she's walked through unknown streets of unknown cities on her own. So yeah, it's nothing.
Between the 4-5 of us.
So it's just to keep him just keep in the car.
Between the 4-5 of us, you've mentioned the word historian so many times.
Yeah.
There's such an intellectual aura around your mother-in-law, and she is.
Yes.
Very inspiring sort of an intellectual. But every time you speak about her stories, I see you smile and chuckle a little. And as a reader, I did feel that her sense of humor was great, and it's not very in your face.
Not at all. It's very subtle. It's subtle. She doesn't have any in your face slapstick sort of humor, but she manages to see the humor in a lot of situations she's been thrown in. And for me, a sense of humor in writing is very important in life, actually. And that's one thing we discuss all the time, that you've got to see the fun in it, otherwise there's life is a struggle. So I think this book captures that as well. There's a very quiet sense of when she's stepping back and she's smiling at what's happened. So I think that was
those ups and downs in history,
of course,
there's such a warm sort of
yes,
soul of the book.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Let's start.